We are excited to announce today that Jaafar Jackson will be the actor playing Michael Jackson in the forthcoming biopic. And what makes that so special is Jaafar is Michael's nephew, Jermaine Jackson's son. He has a natural, real connection to Michael. And when you look at him, you can see Michael in his eyes and you can hear it in his voice. And Jaafar's been working very, very, very hard in preparing for this role for the last 6 months.
All right, Michael Jackson fans. I know this is kind of old news at this point, but just catching up on, pop culture stuff. But I will say this much. When it comes to Michael Jackson's biopic, if I'm not mistaken, there were a couple Michael Jackson projects that were delayed due to the, accusers coming out with like a new documentary or something like that a couple of years ago. But apparently the Michael Jackson Broadway show has done, just incredible, nothing but, rave reviews thus far. And that's been going on for over a year or so. And now the biopic, that was reported, a while ago as well, has finally found its Michael Jackson. I believe it's Jaafar Jackson, one of the children of Jermaine. And 26 years old, the nephew of Michael Jackson will be portraying his uncle in the upcoming biopic. Now, I think that's pretty cool because, in situations like this, keeping it in the family is great. Not to mention when you have someone who has like that DNA who can portray, a famous celebrity. That's one of the first things biopics rule 101. Finding someone who looks like the, person or people that the biopic is about. They don't have to be dead ringers, but the more they look like the person, the more intrigued or engaging the biopic is to those who watch it. Now, of course, there are different things that come into play, like, can this person sing? Can this person act? That's the most important one. But I think in this situation, Jaafar does have the vocals. I remember maybe 2019 or something, there was a Christmas special or something, and I think it was Jermaine and Jaafar, and he sang a Christmas song, and when he sang it, it's like, okay, yeah, he could pull off a Michael in terms of vocal ability. And there's even a video, I'll leave the link in the comment section below, which kind of compares Michael and Jaafar in terms of their vocal abilities. And I don't think Jaafar will do a disservice to his uncle by portraying him in this biopic. Now, as an actor, I don't know. But the thing is, when it comes to, a family member like that, it just, and then not to mention him being the son of Jermaine, him being part of the Jackson family, I think they could possibly teach him the different mannerisms, body language that his uncle had, and he could pull it off. I think that this is going to work, guys. I think it's going to work. And it's kind of like, Ice Cube's son portraying him in Straight Outta Compton. Once you see it, it's like, yep, that's his daddy right there. I wonder if it's going to be like, oh, that's his uncle right there. And that's the one thing, the Jacksons had like that DNA where, you could tell that's a Jackson by like the cheekbones and like the hair and whatnot. So I'm actually excited. I'm not going to lie. When the news first broke, I wasn't too excited because Michael Jackson biopics outside of The American Dream, they haven't been all that great. I think we all know the Flex Anderson one. What was that one on Lifetime? I think Finding Neverland wasn't awful, but that was a biopic that was more focused on two security guards who worked for Jackson for years during the struggle period, if you want to go that far. After all the accusations, after his not infidelity, but the controversy surrounding Michael as a person outshined his celebrity. So Michael was obviously the focal point of that biopic, but it was more from the perspective of the security agent. So as a result, it really didn't focus on the life of Michael Jackson, more like the hardships during the final years leading to his death. But I do think that Jaafar should, he's going to do a good job. I'm going to give him my stamp already, even though I've never seen him act or whatever. But just based on vocal ability, the fact that he is one of the Jacksons, I think they're going to do Michael right. Which leads to the question of the biopic itself. This is probably going to be like the American Dream and like the New Edition story, where you're going to start off with the younger actors, and then as time goes on in the film, I guess Jaafar is probably going to take the reins during the Off the Wall era, or at the very earliest when the Jacksons leave Motown to go to, I believe, Epic Records. So we'll see. I think Jaafar might take over when Michael is about to go solo. And then, of course, that leads into, okay, well, there are things that we can't skip over, like the change of appearance. Will we see lighter tones in Jaafar, due to makeup and whatnot, because Michael obviously got lighter in his later years. And from there, here's the thing, though. When you look at these kind of stories, especially when it's the family or a state that actually takes the reins and produces these films and documentaries and whatnot, they sometimes take liberties of, we're not going to talk about this, we're not going to talk about that. Personally speaking, I don't give a crap about the court cases and whatnot. I hope they don't even touch on that, but get kind of like, with Whitney Houston and, the drug use and whatnot. It's something that can't be skipped over because it was such a big part of their lives, unfortunately. Like with Michael, the child stuff, overrided his musical, success and whatnot. With Whitney, it was the drugs and, and Prince. Well, I don't know about Prince, really. I mean, he was a mystery the entire time. But it's just one of those things where it kind of has to be addressed. It depends on how far the story goes. Like if you want to go from the beginning at Motown to, let's say, the Dangerous era, then you should be fine. But once you get the child accusations in there, leading up to Invincible, that's when things get, shaken, then the history and whatnot. And then, of course, I wonder how they're going to handle well, I know Lisa Marie passed in real life, but I doubt that they wouldn't have her as a character in this film because she was part of Michael's life. But that's one thing about that documentary. Remember when Off the Wall had its anniversary? What was it, like the 40th anniversary or something? They put out like a re-release of the album, but also Spike Lee's documentary Journey to Off the Wall, from Motown to Off the Wall or something like that. And I really love that documentary because, during the press tour, you had Spike literally saying, this is about the music. This isn't about the controversy. This is a celebration of Michael Jackson and all he did for the music industry and black music in general. So that focused only on the music. And I think the same could be true if there is a, different documentary or special in the future where these people can focus on what they want to, which is the music. But when you're doing a biopic, I don't think that's going to be skipped over, the child stuff. I wish it would. I wish it could be, but it is what it is. It just depends on how they want to portray Michael to the masses. But to me, I'd rather see a celebration of his life, his music, his accomplishments, and most importantly, his contribution to those in need. That's the one thing people always, gloss over or, fail to address, how much this man gave, not just to kids in need, but different organizations to help those less fortunate, But hey, I'm actually excited for the biopic. You know how it is when these kind of things happen. When that first photo from behind the scenes is released, or we get our first look as Jaafar as his uncle, or, maybe that one photo when he has a lighter tone, the internet is going to be, buzzing. But, don't judge a finished product by just one behind the scenes released photo. That's all I'm saying. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to the biopic? Do you think Jaafar will do his Uncle Michael justice? Let's talk about it in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.